Hi guys, in this session you are going to learn about proc report, and definition is proc report combines feature of the print, means and tabulate procedure with the features of the data step in a single report writing tool that can produce a variety of reports. It means whatever we did with the proc, print, means and a tabulate, it can be done by a single procedure, that is proc report. And the syntax is proc report data equals to tables, column, list of variables, semicolon, define variable slash action and run. For explaining about proc report, I am creating one dummy data set and I named the data set with the report here, and the variables are country and it's a region, and the product, it's a wooden product, month of product made, and a predict rate, actual rate and product type. And these are that, and I am taking the two countries, Canada and Germany, and the region west, east and west, and these are some random made products, and these are the months, and these are a predict rate, this is an actual rate, and the product type, it's a furniture office or just like that. Now we are running this code. Before opening data set, log is clear, we are opening report. This is our data set. Now we are applying proc report. Already we discussed whatever done by proc print and means and tabulates, it will be done with a single procedure, that is a proc report. Now we are applying the proc report on it, and in the real-time scenario for creating proc report, they give us a mock shell to generate a report as it is. According to the syntax, I am writing a simple code, proc report data equals to report, and these are the lines, no WD, headline and head skip for the report display. And these are here one note is no W must N should. It means don't use OWD, N will be must. And a column already we discussed the word list of variables, and here whatever the order you need in the report, you have to maintain that order here. It means first in the report I need a country, then after that region of product, predict, actual, just like that. You have to maintain the order whatever you want in the report. And here column is a nothing but to just restrict the variables. And the next one, define. Here the variable country, I just grouping that country. And the next define region, I am just grouping the region also, and run. Now we are running this code. This is a simple report country. I am just grouping the country and grouping the region and product, predict and actual, and this is the order we are mentioned in the column. In the report here we have a values, and we can do summarize at the end of the table also. Then how it will be, and what is the statement for that? That is an R break to summarize at the end of the report. Here this is the end of the report. Here we can summarize this the total values. Then for that, proc report data equals to report. This is a must and should, headline and skip and missing, and a column country, region, product, predict and actual. I need just this adder, and define country as a group, same, define region as a group, and define predict as a mean, and a simply mentioned mean, we can find the mean for that particular variable. And R break after summarize, underline, overline. Got it? If you give a UL, that is an underline. If you give an OL, that is an overline. And we just mentioned summarize and R break after. Now check. This is the previous one, and now this is the present one by using R break after, summarize, overline, break after. It means to give break after a particular variable. For example, I need a calculation after a country. It means after a Canada and after a Germany. Here this is the overall summarization, but I need a country wise. For that we use break after. Remaining is same. We do some simple change. Define country as a group, region as a group, define predict as a mean, break after country. Here R break after means at the end. We can give a break after particular variable, and here I want to break after a country, and the summarize is for summarize the values and run. Just like here we are getting the summarization after a particular variable. Here we have mentioned a country, that's why in the country there are two types, that is a Canada and a Germany, and all the Canada values will be summarized at once, all the Germany values are summarized at once. If you have a more than one type of variable, for example here is an India is there, then after India it will be calculated like that. And here if you want to remove this particular name Canada here, it is easily possible to remove that. Germany, Canada is there, already we know that it is a Canada, and if you want to skip this Canada name here at particular this area, then how it will be? Simply one simple option is there for that, to remove break value. What is the break value here? Whatever the name here, the country, that is a Canada, we can remove that also. Then how it will be? Remaining is same, column is the same, whatever order you need just mentioned, and define country as a group, region as a group, predict mean, and break after country just is same. What is the difference here? This suppress option. If you use the suppress option, whatever the name here, it will be skip and run. The name will be skip by using suppress option. And the next one is break before, and we have a break after. Break before is the just opposite to the break after. Break after gives break after a particular variable. Break before gives break before a particular variable. Okay, then how it will be? And these are the same. And what happened when we skip these? You just check. Define country as a group, region as a group. I just mean for the predict variable. This is a numeric variable, you know that. And break before. Very simple change. Break after means after a variable. Break before means before a variable. Simple change. Summarize, skip. And why we use the suppress? I don't need that name on that. And run. We check the result. Yes. Break before. It means before a Canada and before a Germany. Got it? Like this, we get the result break before and break after and R break. These are the three values to summarize the values, to summarize the variables. And we have another option, that is an across. Okay, then how it will work? Proc report, data equals to report, and the remaining same. Column, I just need a country, region, predict, actual. Want to skip the product here. And define country as a group, I just grouping the country, grouping the region, and define across. And define predict. In the predict, I just find a mean. And R break after, I am using the R break after. It means at the end I need a summarization value and run. And instead of just a group, here if you want to across, then what is an across? You just check the result. Here across means we are mentioned in the region as a across. Then it find the values of whatever the region values is here, east and west. Before that, where is an east and west? In the region it have a east and west. And when we mentioned across in a particular variable, we get the summarization for that particular variable also. And before that, we are region, we are grouping the region also. And we mentioned across here, region. And if you mention across the predict will be here, and now instead of using across, we just mentioned by comma operator also. Comma operator for across, same, proc report, options are same. And column, country after region, I need across. For that I just using a comma here, and define country as a group, region as a group, predict as a mean, R break after, summarize, skip, and run. Here in the region I mentioned across. Now we check the result. In the region, east predict, west predict. And what is the difference between these two? What happened when we mentioned a comma here? Here this is the without comma operator. Okay, east, west. And when we use the comma operator, east predict, west predict. Then why we get like that? Why? Because we using comma before a predict. And here in the report, here region is there. The area of the region, what are the variables in that particular region? For that, we just using a splitting header. What is that? And options are same. Column, I'm just mentioned in a predict and actual in the bracket. Define country as a group, region as a group, and the across. I'm just mentioned this line up to on the region variable, and define predict as a mean. Or break after, I need a summarization at the end, and run. Just check the result. These are the variables on the region, and the area, whatever the area is covered, that will be region variables. And check here, this is the normal across we use here, and if you use the comma, it will be mentioned like this. We can use a splitting header across that variable. Yes, and this is about using of across. What across would do, and it can do summarization in the particular variable, and we can use a comma operator for that also, and we can use a splitting head also. And the next one, compute. Compute columns means we can do some calculation on a variable. Next one is the computing columns. Simply we can do some calculation on a particular variables, and we can create a new variable with that calculation also. Then how it will be? Proc report data equals to report. Options are same. Column, I need these all variables report, and define country as an order, and just mention order, region as an order, and define month. On the month, I just order MON, and order equals to data. Order is nothing but just put in an order, starting order. And if you mention a group, it is a grouping the variable. And if you mention across, it across the variables. Display, however the variable is there in a data set. And the next one, actual also just a display as it is. And the next one, here define diff computed. Okay, I'm explaining after total writing of code. Compute diff equals to predict minus actual. These are only two numerical variables we have in the data set. And end comp and run. Here we want to do the calculation between the predict and actual. We just do subtraction between these two variables. Before that, we have to mention before the variable name. I want to name that new variable as a diff. So we have to mention before it's a define in the column statement, and here we have to define that in the diff also. We have to mention that variable in the define statement also. Or you got it? Whatever the variable you want to create a new, that will be mentioned in the column statement first, then again in the define statement also. In the diff, it will be computed. Now we are computing, and whatever the format if you want to apply, you just apply on it. And the next one, compute. I want to compute diff. And what is the diff? Diff equals to predict minus actual and end comp. It is also mandatory. Now we are running this code just like this. Here we are just a diff. This is the subtraction of predict and actual. Here we are getting a value. Like this, while computing, what are the important points? Whatever you want to do calculation on a variable, first you have to mention that new creating variable name in a column and in the define statement also, and a compute diff. This is a new variable name. Here you do calculation and end cap. And now we can do computing column based on the statistics also. Then how it will be? Proc report remaining the same column, and here already I mentioned the main variable in the column, and define country as a group, region as a group, predict as a mean, actual as a sum. Here the statistics are mean and sum. Now I want to do calculation on these two variables, finding variables, and the define diff is a computed. And next one, compute diff, and diff equals to predict dot mean. What does it mean? Whatever we get mean values on a predict, that will be mentioned here. And the next one, actual dot sum. Whatever the values we are getting in an actual variable, we are calculating here. And end cap, and here I need a break after country. I just do summarization after break after country. and R break bottom of the values and R break country at a particular variable also, and run. Check here, this is the R break, this is the break after values, and what we mentioned diff as a computer variable here, diff, and whatever the values we are getting in the mean and sum, that will be difference. And you can do not only diff, you can do any calculation on that particular variables by using compute. And the next one is a line statement. Then how we use the line statement? Proc report data equals to report, and the options are same. And the column I just mentioned new variable here, ratio. For that I need a compute on that ratio, and define ratio as a computed, and just mentioned a format, and R break after summarize. I just need to summarize the values at the bottom of the values, and a compute ratio. I'm just finding the values of a ratio here. Actual dot sum. I just did both the sum values, and end cap compute after country. And here line at the rate 10. I just want to add a line, that is country ratio is a ratio. Whatever the value we get in the ratio, that will be highlighted here in this particular line. I'm just adding a line and end cap and run. What you want to mention for the line statement here, compute after country. After country I just want the line. What is that line? Line, I just mentioned the length of that line, and country ratio is, that is the length here for these lines, and the ratio, whatever the value we get in this particular variable, that will be highlighted here, and a skip. We are running this code. Country ratio is, what is the ratio value? 1.26. okay, and country ratio is, this is the Canada country ratio, this is the Germany country ratio, and this is the summarization value, not these are not a ratio values. Okay, and the next one is call define function. Then how we use the call define function in the report, and options are same, column is the same. I just again I'm finding this another new variable ratio, and define country, region, both I'm just mentioned both variables in a one define, that is also same we are getting, and define ratio, break after country, R break after, I'm just using a both after in a particular variable and at the bottom of the report, and compute ratio, I'm just finding the ratio, and if ratio greater than 1, I'm just writing for the call define. Then call define, call style equals to foreground equals to red, I need just a color red, and if ratio is less than 0.9 or greater than 1.1, then call define, I'm just mentioned call underscore call and a style here, whatever the style you need just mention it, and end cap run. If you use a SAS 9.4, we are not getting that colors and everything in the report. But if you use a SAS Enterprise or Universal Studio, you get that colors, all this in the report. Here we are not getting any colors or any bold variables here. And we can rename that particular variables in the report also. Then how it will be? Proc report, data equals to report, options are same. I'm just mentioned that some variables in the column. Define country as a group, region as a group. I just mentioned predict mean, and I just rename with this single inverted commas, and actual mean, this is the rename. Whatever you want to rename, you just mentioned in the single quoted. We are running this code here, predict dot means and actual dot mean. Like this we can rename the variables also, and here we can apply some particular formats also. For that, first we are creating a proc format, and the continent, Canada equals to CA, Germany equals to GR. I am just creating a one particular format. I am running this format. Now how we apply this format in a report? Proc report, data equals to report, options are same, column is same, whatever the value variables you need just mention in that order also, and define country group format. Before that also we are just apply format, just like this you can apply whatever the format you want in the define statement only, and define Define predict as a mean, actual as a mean, and run. Just like instead of Canada we get a CA, Germany instead of Germany we are getting a GR. Just like this you can apply any format whatever you want, and we have some header options here. Okay, but this is a SAS 9.4. We are not getting any colors or any styles in the report. If you use the Enterprise Guide or Universal Studio, you may get that result properly, but the code is same. Code is a without syntax errors or everything. Proc report, data equals to report, options are same. I just mentioned a split, header and column. These are the variables, and I just mentioned the group with like this, and a predict, define country as a group, region across, already we discussed about across, and define production type across, and a break after, R break after, I am using R break after, and first we get a group. For all column, wherever we mentioned a group in the region, in the production type, I just want this group. That's why in the output we are getting for the region and product. For the across also, I just need these lines. That's why we are getting these lines, and I am using R break after. That's why we are getting the summarization at the bottom of the page, at the bottom of the report. And the next one is a splitting by slash. Here we are not getting these also in the report, but the code without errors. Country, and I just predict equal to predict man, actual equals to actual mean, and define country as a group, actual as a sum, actual by total, and these are the predict mean. These are the new variables I want to define in it. Here I just rename that predict as a predict total, actual mean here. Okay, here predict in the place of predict I just rename that predict mean, actual in the place I just need actual mean. Like that we are getting the report also, but by the here we are not get a slash. Why? Because in this report we are not getting that output. And the next one is the styles. Again the styles also not getting in the SAS 9.4, and options are same. Style equals to header, I just need a header is a Roman, and a column region, and a country region, and here in the region I need a Korea, and R break after summarize, style equals to, for the R break after I need a bold and run. These are all styles are not included in a SAS 9.4. If you use any enterprise guide and everything, it will be display the result as it is. And if you want to learn remaining procedures, please visit my channel at once. Please subscribe my channel, click the bell icon, like the video and comment below, share with your friends. Thank you. Support me.